watching Tubi. There's some really bad movies on Tubi, but there's some really, but they have some really good stuff on there too. Like stuff that's also on Amazon Prime. That's on Pluto TV. Pluto TV has merged with Paramount Plus, so much better content. And it has the same, like Tubi has the same movies on it that Prime, Amazon Prime, Pluto TV, and Netflix have. Not to mention other streaming services like Roku TV uh, and some like a dozen other ones out there. Anyway, I'm about to turn this down so you guys can hear me and fix this chat filter. I think we are live. Let me see something here. Let me see something here. It's a low budget film. Anyway, just the lighting. Turn down this. All right. And get myself comfortable. Mrs. Contrarian will be helping moderate today while she's cleaning out her camping and hiking equipment. Till then, it's just us, which means just me because no one else is here in the chat room yet. So, oh boy. Then I think I'm gonna get something to eat afterwards. Um, but since I saw someone appear in the chat room, that does mean that you guys can see the live stream. So I don't have to check on my PC to make sure that that people can see me. Tasha Haynes says hi. What's up, Tasha? In case you're new, my name is Just A Contrarian. That's the YouTube channel as well, and this is my Ask Me Anything live stream where people can just come in, chime in, and shoot the breeze with me, ask me questions, and talk about random stuff. So what's up, everyone in the live stream? Again, you can call me Contrarian or Just A Contrarian. And this is my Ask Me Anything stream. When I do my Ask Me Anything streams, I just ask everyone to come in. Uh, yes, like and subscribe too. Thank you. And you shoot the breeze with me. You can ask me questions, and we could talk about random stuff. I don't. When I do Ask Me Anything, I don't have a given topic for that for the evening. I don't know what Potato says is talking about. He's saying Olive Garden has lesbian ravioli. I don't even know what that means. I could go for some ravioli though. Have you liked a girl in high school? Huh? I mean, what who didn't have who didn't have a crush in high school? Are you claiming to be one of my long lost crushes from like like 30 years ago? Well, more than 30 years ago because I left high school when I was 17. So Tasha says I have a new baby kitten. That's what's up. We just have a crazy cat here who for whatever reason, I think someone did something to her because she stayed outside on that patio while it was snowing. Everyone on the East Coast, um, if you're on the East Coast, let me know. Say drop a one in the chat room if you're on the East Coast. But it started snowing again after we had two blizzards already. So this is our fourth snow this year. Um, but this wasn't a blizzard. It just snowed earlier than it stopped. But I think it's going to start snowing again early in the morning, which sucks because that's around the time that I go out to. I usually go out for a run, so that sucks. And the crazy cat was outside and wouldn't come inside even though it was snowing. I think someone, I think someone did something to make her scared to come back in the house. Not I, um, but she wouldn't come in the house, and my niece had to come and go outside and grab her, and the cat was fighting her. Betsy says, I saw this cartoon of a cat that was climbing out of a glass and it sneezed itself back into the glass. That sounds like, well, unless it was like a kitten, I'm guessing that was AI. Although, some kittens can get very tiny. So, um, oh, no, I'm sorry. You said that's a cartoon. So never mind. That was a cartoon. Cartoon. And speaking of cartoon, our cat is actually an English shortbread, not shortbread, sorry, English long, is it English long hair, short hair, whatever. Basically, the same cat that Tom is from Tom and Jerry. She's a female version of that. Like she looks exactly like him. Like I didn't realize when they drew some of these cartoons, like almost 100 years ago, that they actually resemble the animals. Like Tom actually looks like an English long-haired cat. Like the 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 color and pattern of his fur, and even the yellow eyes, because she has yellow eyes like Tom. Like that's funny. And then what was another? I'm trying to think of some other examples. Wile E. Coyote. He does actually look like coyotes do actually look like that. So which is funny. Um, but just ask me anything. If people didn't see the topic, it's just a bit uh, cheeky because I put ask me anything. There's no World War III because everyone was talking about that yesterday with the airstrikes, and now we find out that the airstrikes aren't going to be over. That basically we're going to be bombing them for a month. Oh, that's another thing. And so the the road runner, that's actually what road runners look like as well. Like they actually drew the animals like how they look, more or less. That's actually how the road runner looks. But what they did get wrong is that road runners aren't actually that fast. In real life, coyotes are way faster than road runners. So I think that's what stands out, the fact that this road runner is so much faster than a coyote, when in actuality, coyotes are much quicker than a road runner. Oh, also, we got coyotes here on the East Coast. People didn't believe me 13 years ago when I said I went out for a morning run around 5:30 and I saw a coyote. They was like, "You sure you saw a coyote?" He said, "Maybe that was a fox." I said, "That wasn't a fox. It was like twice the size of a fox." They was like, well, I was like, "It wasn't a dog." Um, and I was like, "The coyote was just sitting there watching me." And it's not the first time I've seen a coyote. I saw one a few years ago when I was working out in my backyard and it was raining and he just started trotting along. I'm like, what the hell is that? Because it's not a dog. Like you look at it, like that's not a dog because they look like small. they coyotes look like small wolves. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, the hell is that? Betsy says, have you heard of a bird called the horned screamer? Sounds familiar. Um, it does sound familiar, but I'd be lying if I told you I remember what it looks like, unless it's like that small animal that small bird that kind of jumps up on its feet and has his wings flailing out like a fan. I'm pretty sure that's not what it is. um, is did Mrs. Contrarian? Are you here yet? I don't think she's here. Well, she did say she's going to drink coffee first. She said Bessie says the horn screamer. They sound funny. Well, that's probably why they have that where they got the name. Only thing I hear in the morning are like the bird songs of lovebirds, and unfortunately, in a few some houses actually have roosters, which I don't know why. Like we do not live in a rural area. This is like the suburbs, like literally 10 minutes outside of Baltimore City, and there's people with freaking roosters. He says, "So can I ask you something? You don't have to ask. Can you ask me something? Um, People can generally ask me whatever they want as long as it is family friendly. As long as it's not inappropriate, I don't mind questions. That's what my ask me anything format is. Asking me questions. Darius Rucker is that's the dude from Hootie and the Blowfish, right? Isn't that the dude from Hootie and the Blowfish? I think everyone thought his name was Hootie. He was like, no, he's like, my name isn't Hootie. That's just the name of the song. He's like, that's just the name of our group. He's like, I'm not actually Hootie, but then he was kind of actually Hootie. Oh, you sang with him. Oh, that's cool. Are you are you a musician or a recording artist? I only remember that, and I think most people can only remember that one Hootie and the Blowfish song. Kind of. I went to a music camp in Nashville. Okay. Yeah, because like Hootie and the Blowfish was sort of like I don't know what you would call it. It was like country pop slash soul. I don't know where you would how you would categorize it, but pretty much everyone liked him. I think like I don't know, at least back then. I don't think anyone had anything bad to say about the group, unless you just didn't like top 40 music. Now, if you didn't like top 40 music, that's fair. But other than that, I need some water. Let me grab some water. Take these off. All right. So I should have set up a link for the live stream so that people could join me on the live stream. But the last 3 times that I did it, no one was willing to come on to get on camera. Because I was gonna say I was gonna say if I had set this live stream up so that I could invite guests to come on camera, and I said, why don't you come on camera and sing for sing for everyone in the chat room. Oh, you can. Uh, Betsy says you can see me on YouTube. Okay, so you are trying to be well, I'm not saying trying to like not trying to belittle you. So you are a performing artist, like, or trying to become a professional recording artist or something of the like. I had a previous had a moderator 2 years ago who was a performer in Germany. Um, she's quite talented. She has videos here on YouTube. Um, Unfortunately, because she has a health condition, she has not been able to push her career to the point where she could be professional. Which is a shame. It's wasted talent. Like the quality of the videos that she's made and her music, you would think, excuse me, you would think with someone of her talent and abilities that she would have a thriving YouTube channel, but unfortunately, she only has 325 subscribers. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy because she's been on here longer than I have. She's been on here like 4 or 5 years, maybe. She, with her talent alone, not to mention the quality of the videos that she's uploaded, she should have like 100,000 subs. And I know she said it's because she had not done anything for 2 years on her channel. Then she came back and started being active again. But even still, the fact that she was young, female, white, can sing, and make music videos, that automatically should have got her to 10,000 subs alone. That should have got her to 10,000 subs alone. But with the rate of consistency she used to have before she got really ill and putting out all those videos, she should have made it to about 100,000 subs. But she definitely should have had 10,000 subs easily. And I'm referring to Miss Needle. Shout out to her. I think every once in a while she checks out my videos or live streams, but doesn't, but just lurks in the background. She doesn't want to say anything. That's cool. I don't, you know, it's, I don't have any ill will against her. If anything, I just hope she gets better. Um, like many people with failing health, she has turned to spirituality to help her, um, and that's fine. But where we kind of went our separate ways was that she expected me to have some inkling of spirituality as well, and I don't. So, oh well. And yes, that is a YouTube poster in back of me for anyone who may be curious. Sent to me from YouTube. This is basically as a thing to have uh, as part of the YouTube. Pardon me. Part of the YouTube partnership. They sent out like a bunch of like little cool gifts back in 2000, late 2024. that I took advantage of. Like I got an AMC movie ticket. I got like a free 6 months of YouTube Premium. Um, they gave me a free Subway sandwich. Well, voucher for a free Subway sandwich. Um, oh, they gave me a free clapper board with a marker with the permanent marker. Um, I still have that. I like that. That's really cool. What else? Some gave me like free 6 months of I think it was Adobe Acrobat or something like that, and B&W photos. So a lot of little cool stuff like that. But in the future, I could do with like maybe more movie tickets and more food vouchers if you're listening to YouTube. But yeah, the chat room has gotten very quiet. Um, would help if Mrs. Contrarian was here. And I think more people will be on just because it's well, especially here on the East, like not much to do on a Monday night unless you're still working. But usually not much to do on a Monday night, so you would think this would be a good time to stream. Unfortunately, it is probably a good time to stream, and I'm competing with like like 1,000 other streamers. Egon Christie says, "Hey man, tell me you're a little impressed with Iran's bombing fiasco." I don't, I don't know what you mean. Are you talking about? Am I impressed with Operation Epic Fury against uh, Iran's leaders? I'm not sure what that. I'm not sure what you mean. But I have addressed it yesterday and Saturday. So, like I said, as far as I was concerned, the operation was a success. But then I learned today that that wasn't the end of the operation. That was just the beginning. That apparently this Operation Epic Fury is supposed to last for a month, and we're supposed to affect some sort of regime change. But I don't know if there's an actual plan put together to do so. So no, with Iran bombing U.S. bases in Israel, why would I be impressed with that? I'm American. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not one of these libtards. I'm not. I don't. I don't root against my country. So yeah, if anyone is rooting against their country, um, you won't find me amongst that crowd. And if you're not American, then you can go suck a dick because I really don't give a fuck what anyone who's not American thinks at this point about the situation. Until some of you people fix your own broken ass fucking countries, don't criticize us. You got no legs to stand on. No legs on which to stand if you're some foreigner who lives in some little butt fuck shithole country talking shit about America when you can when you motherfuckers don't even have health care or food. And of course you'll try to blame that on America. Well, it's because of America. No, it's because you guys are have incompetent leaders. On top of that, Iran bombing U.S. bases in Israel. I don't care if you're a fan. You're not a fan of Israel. I'm not going to root against Americans and American military. I'm a veteran. Why would I? Why would I root against a foreign adversary? A foreign adversary that's been a thorn in our side since the 1970s. They started this bullshit back in 1979 with the Iran hostage crisis. They took 52 Americans. No, like, go suck a dick, Egon. Seriously. Uh, Views on Trump. Can you? Look, if you're gonna be my channel, you gotta know I don't like vague questions. You need to frame a actual question. Don't say views on Trump. I don't like when people say views on X, Y, and Z, or when people say thoughts. Don't say thoughts. If you actually have a fucking question or you actually want to know my opinion on something, just state what you are actually thinking. Don't just say thoughts. That is the most fucking annoying thing I ever see people do. I have friends do that too. Like they'll send me some they'll send me some reel or some meme and then they'll just say thoughts. Thoughts on what? I don't have fucking thoughts. Like tell me what exactly tell me exactly what you are leading, like what are you leading towards, instead of just saying thoughts or views on X, Y, and Z. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. To me, that's just like a projection test. Whereas like a projection test where they give you some vague image and then they like, what are, what are your views on this? What do you see this as? Oh, it's a bat. No, I don't like shit like that. If you have a certain point of view, just fucking state that view. Don't sit there and pussy around with it and say, what's your views on X, Y, and Z, or what's your thoughts? I don't I don't play that dumb shit. He's a dude that was totally uncalled for. And how would you take my comment as being supportive of Iran? I only mentioned that I'm impressed. What are you? Anywho, I don't care what he thinks is uncalled for. You're not dropping a super chat, so I don't give a fuck what you think. If you're not dropping a super chat, I don't give a fuck what you think. How old are you? Doesn't matter how fucking old I am. I'm the host of this live stream. I will do it as I wish. You're here on my live stream. I'm not here on yours. I don't have to ask. Fuck you. Again, I'm a veteran. That's all you fucking need to know. I'm not telling you how fucking old I am and all this other bullshit. AKA, don't speak to me unless you give me money. No, it's not. It's again, you gotta realize Marl H70. Most streamers wouldn't even give you faggots the time of day if you weren't dropping a super chat in their live streams. I'm talking to you bitch ass faggots for free. So I'll say exactly whatever the fuck I want because I'm a fucking man and I have testosterone, unlike you little Gen Z low testo low testosterone faggots. I'll say what I want, when I want, and how I want. I'm the host of the stream, and if you don't like it, fuck off, go suck a dick, and go to another stream. How about that, pumpkin? You're a bad example, exactly like shut the fuck up. Get your faggot ass off of my channel. And I'm not a bad example. Most military people use strong language all the fucking time. You obviously was, you little soft ass little Gen Z fucking faggots never been to a real fucking military environment where you have a drill sergeant shouting down your face. So shut the fuck up, suck a dick, and go be a Gen Z Bitch ass faggot fucking retard fuck. You don't like it? Go to another stream. Again, if you're on any other major streamers live, whether it's on Twitch or TikTok or Snap or here or on IG, most of them won't even respond to you unless you are dropping money. And I'm hungry. So I'm probably hungry. But I don't care. Like, I don't give a fuck. Yo, I don't like little fucking stupid retards who've never done anything with their life questioning me. Most of you are probably like fucking 13 years old and need to go fuck off and go to sleep or some shit. But your parents are too fucking stupid to make your asses go to bed on a decent time, which is why gotta, most of you have low IQs because Gen Z has started the reverse Flynn effect where you guys have lower IQs than every previous generation that's come before you. So, yeah. Am I a Christian? No, I'm not. I don't follow fairy tales. Like Ray Stan said in Ghostbusters when he was asked, did he ever, does he believe in God? He said, I never met him. Even though he did meet Gozer the Gozerian. Uh, saved from what? This is what I used to say a long time ago when people say, I hope you get saved. Saved from what? Saved from what? Saved from what? Saved from what? That's fucking stupid. Hell? Yeah, you're fucking dumb. Where is hell? Has anyone ever seen it to confirm it in the 6,000 years of humanity? Has anyone ever confirmed that with hard evidence? Has anyone confirmed the afterlife period other than subjective experiences of a dying brain or people who were high? No. I'm usually nice about this thing, but I really don't have the patience to pretend to care. SRC684 says made up place to control children supposed to move on and grow up. Exactly. He said Jesus died for all of our sins. Oh yeah? Word. So either he didn't do a good enough job, or conversely, you sent the innocent man to die for a bunch of morons. It's one or the other. Either he didn't do a good enough job dying for all our sins because there's way too many out there to compensate for one man, or vice versa. Uh, you condemn the innocent man to die for a bunch of assholes. So, which is it? Sarcy says, not my sins, didn't do them yet. Exactly. Sins is just a sin is just a concept to psychologically manipulate people into thinking everything they do is wrong, so that they need to seek salvation for this bullshit. We have all sinned. No, you have sinned, my friend. I don't subscribe to that concept. Push your own fucking bullshit in someone else's. Go push that shit at church. Don't push that on my live stream. I don't give a shit about that fucking shit. Zach got Sorry, Zach. The my AI doesn't like foul language, but I completely agree with what Zach 144 J1 he says. He said God is a total dick that deserves no respect. Yeah, if you read the Old Testament, he basically ruled like a mafioso boss with no rhyme or reason to why he punished some people and didn't punish others. He just acted like a mafioso boss in the Old Testament. So yeah, I'll pray. Do you have a good day? Okay, whatever, bro. I don't give a fuck. Like, I bet you don't. Most of you religious people don't even know the Bible as well as an atheist. Kind of the reason why people are atheists is usually they know the religious stuff a little bit more than the believers. We're not going to turn my live stream into a fucking religious debate. It was cool to entertain that for a few minutes, but whatever you believe, that's fine, bro. But don't push that on others. I'm not here. No one is here in this live stream for you to sit there and um do your missionary work. Keep that shit to you. Like that's fine if that's what you want to believe. I'm not gonna knock someone for holding beliefs that I find irrational, but don't push that on others. And I would say that to anyone of any religion who came in here pushing their religion, not just beating up on Christianity. I would say that to Buddhists, Hindus, Sikhs, Muslims, Jews, um, anyone. Zach says if people actually read the Bible, they will see the hypocrisy. Right, right. They will see the hypocrisy, and they will see that most of it doesn't. Most of it is freaking incoherent. Like because the Bible has been rewritten several times by different scribes in different eras to push different themes, it's incoherent. Like it is literally impossible to follow the dictates of the Bible because they contradict each other in different parts. Even the gospel of Christ, like they give four different they give four different interpretations of what happened to him between John, Matthew, James, and Peter. Not to mention Paul, who comes along and treats him pretty much as if he was just a celestial figure. Like there's no like if there's no consistency in just the gospel part of the New Testament, then what luck do you have with the entire Bible, which is wholly inconsistent? Say what you want about the Quran, at least the Quran isn't inconsistent like the Bible is, because it's written in three as the Bible is written in three different eras. Like you're not even really talking about the same God between the early one, the early Old Testament stories of Moses, of Yahweh. Then you go into the further stories, like you basically have like in a crude way, there's almost like three different gods in the Bible. Like you have the Moses, the God of Moses, the God of David, then the and you have Jesus. Like these, they're supposed like you could tell like these the conceptualization of God within these three different parts, these three different narratives are quite different. So, and for me, it's interesting from a mythological perspective, not really from a spiritual perspective. I like ancient religion because I like studying. I like reading on mythology. So I like reading ancient Greek and ancient Roman and Scandinavian mythology, as well as you know Japanese and Chinese and Indian mythology and Egyptian and Native American, all that sort of stuff. Zach says, "What do you think life is? Why do you think we are here? Why do you think we are here for?" Um, I don't know what you mean by what do I think life is. Um, I would say life is a biochemical process. If I mean, but it depends on what you mean by life. Like you, there is the obviously there's the scientific or natural science definition of life as a biochemical process. And then there's the social concept, the social or sociological conceptualization of life, and that is more complicated. I won't pretend to know that. Then there's the philosophical question: what is life? Then again, if you get if you're going to ask the philosophical question, what is life? Then we need to have we need to kind of put all our assumptions on the table, or else we can't really get to any sort of answer there. As far as what I think we're here for, I don't think we're here for anything. I don't think there's any purpose to life beyond people taking it on faith that there's some purpose to life. Outside of taking it on faith, I don't. There's no reason to think that we are here for some purpose. So I think the existentialists got that right, as well as the nihilists, that there is no purpose. I think that's one of the few things philosophy has answered a long time ago, is that outside of taking it on one's faith, there's no reason to believe there's any purpose to life. Like, and depending on how you view that, some people might take that in a negative way and become nihilist. But you can also take that in a positive way, like the existentialists, and say, oh, well, that means that we have freedom to enjoy our lives as we want. Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, it depends on how you, like some people might go into like some people might see that and be like, oh, that means nothing matters, and they veer off and become nihilist. Others would take it as like, oh, good, that means that I can live my life to the fullest in whichever way I prescribe for myself, not to some sort of cosmic uh some sort of cosmic prescription that's been already written down for me to follow. Zach says, do you think we could be a fragment of God here to experience, or God getting to know itself? Again, you have to define what God is to what would that mean to say we're a fragment of God here to experience God is what? Like again, when you ask when people not you per se, but when people ask questions like that, they need to be specific about what they mean with certain terms, because if you use these terms in a vague way, then there's always going to be this disagreement amongst people, because we're not fixing our terms prior to asking the question. We got to fix the terms that we're using in these questions so that we can have a common point of agreement in what we mean when we say things like God or life or purpose, stuff like that. Um, because someone might say, "Oh, well, God is love." Oh, well, okay, then I guess well, that's real. Or, but usually when people say God, they're usually referring to some sort of psychological being of some sort that may also hold powers or whatever. But again, we need to nail down, we need to fix our terms before we ask questions so that those questions can be answerable. Like a, a an answer is only as good as the question that is that it's connected to. So son of Cole says, how would you know anything about God without the Bible? Because there's about a different, because there's like literally thousands of gods that's been posited by humans since the beginning of humanity. That's how. Like, what version of God are you referring to? You're just saying God as if everyone is going to assume that you mean the Christian God, when there's literally thousands of gods that people have posited throughout human civilization over the past 6,000 years, and probably even longer than that. The Christian God that came out of, you know, out of ancient Palestine, um, was not unique. There were like several gods all in the Near East that were pretty similar, born of virgin mothers. Zach says, we are God possible. Again, I don't know what that even means. Like, you're saying stuff that sounds, this is what's called the stuff that you're saying are called deepities. Shout out, well, rest in peace to uh, the late philosopher Daniel Dennett. He coined the term deepities. Well, actually, he didn't. He said a daughter of one of his friends actually coined a term that he started using the term deepity. A deepity is pseudo wisdom. It's something that's either uh, trivially true, or it's something that's patently false but would be profound if it were true. This is pseudo wisdom, and he called them deepities. Saying we are God possible is a textbook example of a deepity. It's just pseudo wisdom. It's just something that's patently false but sounds profound if it were true. So, um, not to beat up on you, I'm just saying that's an example of a deepity, which again is which was Daniel Dennett's term for pseudo wisdom, which could be of two sorts. It could either be something that's just trivially true. Uh, so the example of something that's a deepity that's trivially true is saying it is what it is. Well, yeah, that's just trivially true. Like, just by the principle, just through the principles of logic, specifically the the law of identity. To say it is what it is just means x is x is identical with x. So that is an example of a deepity that's trivially true. But like I said, but your example is a deepity that's just patently false, but sounds profound if it were true. So, and I mean, we all do this. We all sometimes use deepities from time to time to, maybe because we think it sounds impressive, or we heard it, or we're regurgitating something someone else said. that struck us, and at the time we didn't realize that there was just merely a deepity that we were um, stating. But anyway, he says Zach says nice chat. Gotta go. Sending love from Scotland. What is Streamlabs timed him out from refraining from posting Zago. I don't even know what Zago is, but I'm gonna go with Streamlabs with that because I don't even know what Zago is. So I'm guessing that's something that would be um, spammy, I guess, because I don't know what Zago is. Do any of you guys in the chat room, do you know what Zago is? I don't know what Zago is. But that's funny. Someone said, "How could you know anything about God without the Bible?" As if there weren't like thousands of gods posited over over 6,000 years. Like that, which is funny because our very conceptualization of the Christian God basically comes from other conceptualizations of other gods like Zeus. Like when most people picture God, like they picture is basically Zeus, a old a old white man with white hair and a beard, wearing a robe or toga or something. That's basically Zeus. When people picture Satan, they think of some. They're basically thinking of the Greek god Pan, which is how he was conceptualized in the mid in the European Middle Ages as a way of basically ridiculing Satan, even though according to scripture he would have been like one of the most beautiful people, uh, whoever whoever existed. So anywho, I think comic books do way better with gods than ancient religions do. Personally, time I got here 8:51. We can go at this a little longer. Pause. But yeah. Anyway, I'm done with the religious stuff. We can veer towards the philosophical stuff, but I don't really want to have religious debates. Like again, to me, it's just like to me, it's a debate over fairy tales, and that's why I find it so exhaustingly stupid that people have gone to wars over fairy tales. I would not. I would never fight over like. I would never like go to war over fictional characters. But I guess it's no different than seeing comic book geeks fight over over their favorite superheroes and stuff online, and sometimes even at comic cons. No, Goku is stronger. No, Superman is stronger. No, Goku is stronger. No, Superman is stronger. Like I guess fighting over gods between Islam and Christians and Muslims and Jews is is like if you took stupid debates like Superman versus Goku or Batman versus Superman or uh, Darth Maul versus Darth Vader and stuff like that, and you had millions of people fighting over it, and I guess it would be the sort of the same thing. I guess all stupid. or for the Ratchets fighting over who's the best rapper. I stopped doing that 20 years ago. I was like, I'm not getting no. Well, well, about I would say at least yeah, maybe about 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, I dropped out of that debate. I have my favorite rappers, but I'm not going to sit there and argue why that person should be the best. Although I still think it's Biggie. Don't at me. But yeah, um, although there's others that you could put in there to possibly rival Biggie, but it wouldn't be Tupac. Yeah, I said it. And no, I'm not going to debate it. And I don't care about the whole FBA versus immigrant thing. It's still Biggie for me. I don't care if he's Jamaican, whatever. Biggie's still better. And I should probably, I wasn't going to apologize for my outburst earlier, but thinking about it now, no, I'm not going to apologize for that. I can say what I want, when I want, how I want on my live stream. And that was the point of my strong language. So someone's tried to tell me that I was a bad example of a veteran or something like that. Like, actually, no. Most of us use hard language because, for one, I'm Gen X, so I don't really care about your fucking feelings. And then number two is that people who live their military life are used to hearing strong language all the damn time. Like, I it just shows how fucking soft people are. Plus, if you're a fucking kid, you shouldn't be on my live stream anyway, because the first thing you see is that this live stream isn't for children. Yet young people come onto my live stream all the time, and usually once I know they're young, I'm usually nice unless they get disrespectful. There was a some young girl on here that used to come on here sometimes. I used to go out my way to not curse when she was on here. Out of respect, not just because she was a kid, but she was a girl, because I generally don't curse around ladies. And I, I didn't like, I initially didn't like the fact that she was on here because she was a, minor. But I realized she had a YouTube channel, so I think she was just on here trying to get, trying to boost her own channel. So hopefully her channel is doing well now. But she should have that just for her you. But she should have made that a niche just for YouTube kids. That should have been her niche, YouTube kids. Because I don't think adults should be watching YouTube kids content anyway. That's weird. Except, well, unless it's their parents or whatever, I guess. But you know what I mean. But that was I haven't seen her in like on my I haven't seen her appear in my chat room for like I, I believe almost 2 years. So hopefully she's doing well. And so and some of the other people who've come on, there was a young guy who used to come on here all the time to play football. So hopefully he's doing well. Yeah, I think he played high school football, not college football. So he was all right guy. But anyway, I'm about to call it a day. There's really no no one watching except for my loyal viewers. Uh, and I think I had some food to attack. So I'm gonna hit that food, and you guys take it easy. All right, see ya.